You're a psychopath.
How could you
You're
say
gonna die alone.
What? No, 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 no. No, that is not how it's supposed to go. I had it all planned out.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas, I'm here with fellow Riddler, Christopher Johnson.
Hello everyone.
And we finally made it. We finally made it to the end of this Batmanathon.
Lord have mercy. Okay, I think we need to make a rule for next year. Stop doing so many long marathons. But this was a fantastic movie.
Yes, it was.
It really was. I was worried about this one, but it turned out good.
Alright, when it gets to the overview / behind the scenes.
Sure. The Batman is a 2022 superhero film based on the DC Comics character Batman. The Batman was produced by DC Films, Sixth and Idaho, and Dylan Clark Productions, and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It is a reboot of the Batman film franchise and separate from the DC extended universe. The film was directed by Matt Reeves, who wrote the screenplay with Peter Craig. The film stars Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / Batman, alongside Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Peter Skarsgård, Andy Serkis, and Colin Farrell.
When I get into the synopsis.
Well, sure. Well, wait. Shouldn't we go over...
Yeah, the behind the scenes.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this film was, this was actually supposed to be Ben Affleck's film. He's the one that came up with calling it The Batman.
Yeah.
This was actually supposed to be his follow-up after Justice League, but as we all know, plans fell through. Certain individuals meddled into the plans that, Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck, and others had with the DCEU. So Ben Affleck pieced out. And they decided to go with a whole different version of Batman. In the end, it actually turned out to be good, but yeah, it does kind of suck. We never got to have one film centered around Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we haven't discussed him in this marathon.
Yeah.
Even though we like his Batman.
Yeah. So now the synopsis.
Okay. When the Riddler, a sadistic serial killer, begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement.
Robert Pattinson did a great job. He surprised me.
Yeah. The hype was real about him, that he has really gotten good as an actor.
Yeah.
He really has proven himself.
This is his second Bat character he played.
We don't talk about that. That's part of the reason why we questioned his ability.
Yeah, that is true.
This man has finally proven he is not Edward Cullen. He is a true actor.
Yeah. And his emotions when he found out about his father's dealings with Falcone, how troubled he was, and all that, making him second guess what he's doing.
Yeah, why he's being vengeance, why he's the knight.
Yeah, well, part of me wishes they should have changed the name to the Vengeance, because the only one who really calls him the Batman mainly is the Riddler.
And that one time he refers to himself as the Batman.
Yeah, but most of the time everyone calls him Vengeance.
Well, when you keep saying, I'm vengeance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually like his portrayal because it's different.
Yeah.
It's much different. Every other Batman, we've actually seen them try to play the three characters of Batman. You know, Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Brucey Wayne. We don't get Brucey Wayne in this one.
Well, Harley, he's at the funeral, then he talks to Falcone, and that's it.
And he doesn't even give up the whole facade of rich billionaire playboy. No. He is just Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yep.
And Matt Reeves said he based a lot of that off of Kurt Cobain. You know, that's kind of what he was trying to go with, you know, the negative feelings and torment, and even some of the ways that Bruce looks and carries himself is very similar to Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Well, I thought he looked cool in the bat suit.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely one of the better bat suits.
Yep. Although we didn't really see the red logo like they show here on the red lot part of the logo, yeah.
Well, I think that was just for aesthetic.
Yeah, although he does use as a grappler the logo that he takes out.
I thought he used that as a batarang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used that as a batarang to...
Yeah, which was a new thing for it.
Makes sense. I mean, this isn't the first time Batman has had something like that on his chest plate.
Contact lenses that he can record
which I really like. I like that idea. Because maybe there is something Batman may have overlooked or didn't pay too much attention to.
It just looks painful to watch, though, but you're thinking he's taking off his own eye.
Yeah. Ah, God. How do people with contacts do that?
I can't do contacts. That's why I prefer glasses.
Oof.
Just too painful for it, yeah.
But I do like that gadget. You know, it gives him the opportunity to overlook everything that was going on, whether he's fighting, whether he's investigating something. I like that.
Yep. And he also finds out that there's no just black and white. There's always a gray area in some things, like his parents.
Which we'll get more into later on.
Yep.
But with talking about Batman, should we go into his allies or his enemies?
I want to go to his allies.
Okay. Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle, a.k.a. Catwoman.
Who's also not called Catwoman.
I know, but we all know it's Catwoman.
Yeah. She's the second one next to Anne Hathaway who's never called Catwoman in the Dark Knight Rise.
My God, that is true. But unlike Anne Hathaway, Zoe Kravitz did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Zoe Kravitz's Selina Kyle.
Yeah, I liked her. I especially thought she looked hot when she was in disguise, pretending.
Of course, you'd be hung up on that. I don't know why she had to wear so many different wigs. I don't fully nightclub scene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially, trying to find out what happened to her friend / maybe girlfriend, because she said she portrayed her as bisexual. Her Catwoman. That's what Zoe Kravitz said in an interview.
People, stop doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Selena Kyle is not bisexual. As far as I know, she's not bisexual. Has this ever been said in the comics?
No.
Yeah. There's only one love in her life, and his name is Batman.
But she does flirt with Batman a lot.
Yes. And I actually enjoyed their chemistry.
Even though she's telling what a white guy dressed up as a bat did that about that she hates mainly all the white guys. Even though her illegitimate father's not really white, really, since he's played by John Turturro. He's just a rich corrupt asshole.
Well, he's the puppet master pulling all the strings.
Yeah. So she has terrible relationships with Falcone, which they based it off the Long Halloween thing, which basically she's the illegitimate she's the illegitimate child of Falcone.
Yeah.
There.
Yep, Carmine Falcone.
Yep, which they play off. Like, the only thing is he doesn't try to actually kill her like he does in this movie, in the graphic novel. He just confirms her thing when she takes off the mask. Because they don't really, unlike the movie, they don't really interact except for when she's in costume.
Huh.
Yeah.
I actually like the scenes where we see her and him.
Yeah.
And there is that whole idea that he actually does care about her.
Except for when she tries to kill him.
Whoa. How would you react? How would you react? I mean, I'm not agreeing with what Carmine Falcone is doing. I kind of agree more with Selena Kyle, but I mean, how would you feel if literally your own family is trying to kill you?
Yeah.
How would you react?
And that he killed her mother.
Yeah, that would also make things, pretty tense.
Yeah.
But I think Zoe Kravitz did fantastic. Mm-hmm. A lot of her portrayal reminds me of Batman Year One and how they characterized Selena Kyle and even how she dresses.
Yep.
Reminds me a lot of Batman Year One.
I'm pretty sure they pulled some of that also from that also.
And also the fact that Selena Kyle was black in that.
Yeah. Yep.
And now we should go with the other ally.
Okay.
Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant James Gordon.
The only one you trust Batman.
Well, yeah, that tends to be the whole rundown, isn't it?
Yeah, although he's not trying to bring Batman to crime scenes when everyone doesn't like it, including his superiors.
True, very true. Whether it is the police commissioner, or the guy that takes over after the commissioner gets killed. Which, why, that guy's voice. But I think Jeffrey Wright did fantastic.
Yes,
I really enjoyed the interactions he has with Batman.
Yeah.
It really felt like how we tend to see their interactions, whether it be like Batman animated series or in the comics.
Yeah. Although this is mainly pulling off of mainly Batman Year One / Long Halloween.
Yeah.
This one,
yeah. And kind of how they interacted in Batman Begins.
Yep. Him and Batman try to solve. My question is, who's Sherlock Holmes and who's Mr. Watson in that scenario? because they both kind of play. Sometimes Batman is the Holmes when he talks that only corrupt politicians and cops get killed by the Riddler.
But usually with most of figuring out all the riddles and clues and things like that, it's mainly Batman.
Yeah.
So I think he's the Holmes and Gordon is the Watson.
Yeah, I did like that weird plan by having Gordon get punched by Batman so Batman can get away.
Yes.
I'm gonna punch you now.
No. No. Here's the key. Punch me.
Mm-hmm.
Punch me. Man, I thought you were gonna pull your punch. I did. Yeah, and I believe that because how many bones did Batman take in this film?
A lot, especially during that club scene. That nightclub scene. Yeah.
Not just the club scene. I mean, when he's fighting all the gang members.
Yeah, we'll get to that once we get to the Riddler. Oh yeah, the gang members at the beginning of the movie too.
Yeah, he took bones there too.
Yeah.
But Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon was different.
Yeah.
But it truly felt genuine of what Commissioner Gordon is supposed to be.
And he's voicing Batman in the audio dramas. And he's also going to be in the new HBO Max show as Gordon, I thought.
But I thought they decided instead of doing the Gotham City PD, they were doing Arkham Asylum.
I don't know.
Will he still have involvement with Arkham?
I have no idea.
Because I thought they decided, let's not do GCPD. Let's instead do Arkham Asylum. And then Colin Farrell gets...
I haven't heard that part yet. I haven't heard that yet.
Really?
No.
I thought you were paying attention to that. No, they decided instead of GCPD, go with Arkham Asylum.
But then...
But here's the hope that we see more of him in those other shows, because Jeffrey Wright was fantastic.
Yep, and then his other ally, Alfred.
Yeah. Played by Andy Serkis.
Yep. One of the few times he's not playing a villain role.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean...
He was Snoke in the Disney Star Wars movie.
Which we don't like to talk about.
He was also in the Marvel Universe as the bad guy.
Well... Yeah.
He was in Lord of the Rings. Precious.
As Golem / Smeagol.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Ulysses Claw in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only other time he has not been a villain was when he was when he did the motion capture for King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yep. Well.
But I really liked Andy Serkis as Alfred in this. You know, he felt a lot more like trying to be like the father figure, like how Michael Caine or Jeremy Irons were trying to be.
Yeah.
And as well, I do like the whole idea that he worked in the circus before he worked for the Wayne family.
Yeah. Although he nearly gets himself killed thanks to the Riddler.
Well, it wasn't not so much himself. It was Batman not realizing, maybe the Riddler wants to go after me. The me under the mask.
Although I think that's one of the few Riddler mistakes, since he usually goes and attacks the people before he goes and tortures them.
True.
He just leaves a bomb and then leaves a video.
Well, I mean, he did do the same thing to the DA.
Yeah, well, he got the DA first. He was actually interacting with the DA.
Yeah, true. But I don't know.
Yeah, and so he gave And he also helped let Bruce know that there's a gray area when it came to his parents also.
Yeah, there's gray area with everyone.
Yeah.
You know, no one is truly lawful good or chaotic evil.
Yeah.
And I swear, at some point in the sequel, we better see Andy Serkis fight as Alfred.
Yeah.
Because even though he's walking with a cane, I know he's definitely the guy I would see with the shotgun in the Batcave if things get down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one I see that would be the last line of defense.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get to the villain.
Well, yeah, the big one himself. Paul Dano as Edward Nashton, a.k.a. the Riddler.
It's one of those last name things that I'm not really that fond of.
But it is used in the comics, and they didn't want to be too on the nose with Enigma.
Yeah, but apparently he went insane after the orphanage got shut down after the Wayne's killings.
Yeah, and he lived in squalor most of his life, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wayans already had a fund to make sure that, you know, the orphans were taken care of. But then when they got killed, essentially the local government decided, forget the orphans, we want the money for ourselves.
Yeah.
So therefore the orphans are just left in squalor, you know, living with rats, not having proper heating, you know, during the cold months. A lot of them ending up getting addicted to drugs.
Yeah, of course he gets inspired by the Batman. Although he takes the killing role.
Yeah, he decides to go a much more twisted route of trying to bring about vengeance.
Yeah.
You know, I do like that idea that they both see themselves as their true selves while wearing the mask.
Yeah.
And that they do want to bring about change, except unfortunately for Riddler, his change is much more deadly and much more destructive.
Yeah. But I really liked his portrayal, even though we don't see really much of him until like the end of when it gets to the interrogation part where he talks about his last plan, where he gets his followers from YouTube or Twitter, from who he inspired.
Well, apparently he was doing some type of podcast, I don't think, or vlog.
Yeah.
We're not really sure which social media app he's using, but
he inspired his own followers to do it, to finish up his work.
Yeah, because I mean, despite the fact the man's crazy, he is a cult of personality. And remember what city we're talking about, Gotham City, where a lot of people are in bad shape.
He tried to assassinate the new mayor after killing the other one.
Whoa, he didn't do it. His followers did. Because, like I was saying, you know, a lot of these people are in rough shape. So, obviously, they're going to be mad at those in power in Gotham. So, when they see some guy like him actively trying to bring about change, whether how horrible it is, they would probably end up following him.
Yeah,
because just like how the Joker said in The Dark Knight, when the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
And then they like to do the teeth, thinking that the Riddler knew who he was. He didn't know that Batman was Bruce Wayne.
No. For a second, I thought that was the case, but no, he didn't.
Yeah, I have to take you watching it all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was on the opposite, and then you tried to talk me out of it. Then I went back and forth. Then I'm like, okay, he didn't know. Even though there have been some instances that the Riddler has known, but been amnesia makes him forget.
Well, either that or like how the Joker is, just doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but his thing's a mixture of sort of like his costume is like a mixture of like Hush a little bit. Has like sort of a Hush thing with all the self bandages. It's all duct tape and stuff.
Well, it's not. It's actually shrink wrap that he has around his head, and then he has the military cold mask.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, it reminds me. It's actually based off of the Zodiac Killer.
Ah.
That's where the whole look comes from. You know, the mask with the glasses over the mask.
Yeah.
That's from the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
But I can see a little bit of Hush as far as, you know, him covering his mouth.
Considering that the animated movie made Hush the Riddler.
Which is stupid. Which
we'll talk about if we ever go back to doing these long Batman marathons again.
Yeah, and plus we do have some more things to link as far as Hush, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But I loved Paul Dano's Riddler.
Yeah, he was really good.
He actually finally made Riddler intimidating and actually scary.
Yep.
Because a lot of the times the Riddler was one of the more sillier Batman villains.
I think the real threatening part was when he was really Frank Gorshin, the Riddler, at times in the show. You haven't really watched the show. You've only seen the movie.
I've seen some of Frank Gorshin, and even still, he was over the top and silly. Why do you think he was the main villain instead of Joker? But yeah, this Riddler, I'm actually afraid of.
But I also recommend watching the other Riddler from the Gotham. He was also creepy too. He wasn't also. He was sort of the in between. He had his over the top moments, but he also had his dark moments too in Gotham also.
So he was kind of more like how Batman animated series and the Arkham games have kind of made Riddler.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it just depended on the episode whether or not he was maybe portrayed silly or dark and sympathetic, depending on who wrote that episode.
Yeah, that's pretty on the nose of Batman animated series and the Arkham games.
Yeah.
And plus, I actually do think it was a good idea of, instead of Riddler being the one leading the charge at Gotham Square Garden, that it was his followers.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yep, but let's go into the other villains who take place in the mystery.
Well, yeah. John Turturro as Carmine Falcone.
We see him play a bigger role compared to Batman Begins.
Yeah, and he truly does feel like the big kingpin of Gotham.
Yeah.
He really does feel like that.
Yep.
You know, as someone you really don't want to mess with.
Yep. Especially his own illegitimate daughter.
Yeah. Though it's weird, when I showed my mom this film, for some reason she actually saw him as kind of suave and, you know, weirdly enough, she said sexy. Apparently there was a kind of cult of personality that actually made her like him despite the fact that he's a villain.
Yep, that he got one of her friends killed.
Yeah.
Selena's
apparently he likes to do the strangling. He's the tattletale strangler.
Yeah. And he's also the rat.
Ah, yeah. La Rata Alada.
Yeah, so he could protect himself.
Hey, it makes sense. I mean, it would make sense overall of him wanting to take over Gotham, so why not get rid of the other guy that is threatening, you know, that whole idea of him taking over.
Yep. Of course, they also get them killed by the Riddler at the end by just a
Well, spoilers, everyone.
Sorry,
Spoilers.
It's, it's okay. The Blu-ray will be is already out by now, so.
True.
So,
But
buffer
there
for
might
those who
still
haven't-
be some people that haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But I really liked Carmine Falcone in this.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen too much of the crime families being majorly involved in the plots. You know, they're usually kind of like the first mission Batman goes over and topples. It was actually cool to see,
And some sort of relationship with the Waynes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Thomas begging him not to kill the reporter.
The fact that Thomas saved Falcone's life.
Yep, that was from the Long Halloween comic graphic novel where he saved his life, and so he felt like he owed Thomas Wayne the Waynes one.
He felt like he owed
Yeah,
the Waynes something.
yeah,
That's why he got involved with threatening Edward Elliot.
yep. That's another Hush reference.
Yeah. The reporter that was investigating the Waynes and finding out that maybe Thomas and Martha weren't necessarily these absolute perfect angels that we often see in other interpretations.
Yeah, this was our first media where that's not the case in this one.
Yeah, which I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
The fact that we actually get to see Batman's parents as humans.
Yeah.
That they are good people,
Yeah.
but they're not infallible.
Yep. Yep. And we also get reference to a Flashpoint thing with Martha Bean and Arkham.
Oh, yeah. No, she was a part of the Arkham family, and she was also in the asylum.
Yeah. The asylum part. Yeah, because of her foreshadow. Well.
The alternate timeline
Yeah.
in which she becomes Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a good homage there.
Yeah.
Although it's weird having a Wayne running for public office.
I don't think this isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
As far as Thomas Wayne trying to run for something. I mean, look at the film Joker. He was trying to get into politics as well. So this isn't the first time.
Yeah. But it was good on that one. And then we get to like one of his second higher his
second in command.
Yeah.
His right hand. Colin Farrell as Oswald Oz Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin.
Yeah.
My God, Colin Farrell was fantastic. My God, was he fantastic.
You couldn't tell that was him and all that makeup.
Yeah, the makeup and prosthetics, and plus the way he was able to change his voice.
Yeah.
And he really felt like someone that should have been in The Sopranos or The Godfather. He truly had that whole mob mentality.
Yeah.
While at the same time he's so charismatic and funny.
Yep. My favorite was the chase scene with him and Batman.
Oh yeah. Ha ha! I got you! Yeah, I got you!
No, you don't.
No, he didn't.
And then he just left tied up.
What?
He just tied up. Don't know how he got back in time for Falcone to get shot.
Very true. Very true. But hey, well, I mean, this whole movie takes place in the span of a week.
Yeah.
So somebody might have gone back over there and see. Oh, hey, Oz. I see you tied up. You run into Vengeance.
Yeah, he's not called Oswald mainly. It's mainly called Oz.
Yeah, and they still refer to him as the Penguin.
Yeah. Yeah, at least there's one name that they keep in line, like the Catwoman.
Well, I mean, look at that man's nose and the fact that I think it's because, is it an injury or just because the fact he's a bit overweight?
Yeah.
He does waddle.
Yep.
Like a penguin.
I can't wait to see him in his own show in HBO Max.
Yes, because at the end of the film, really, power of taking over crime is... well, it's open for anyone.
Yeah.
So it makes all the sense in the world that Oz, seen as though he was Falcone's second in command, would start working up the ranks to become the kingpin of Gotham.
Yeah, but let's get into the good parts.
Well, like, the plot was fantastic, and the fact that this one was actually a murder mystery.
Yeah.
You know, this was an actual detective story.
Yeah.
Something that they've brought little sprinklings in some of the other films, but this was a full-on detective noir story.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. We actually get to see Batman working on becoming the world's greatest detective.
Yep. The fight scenes were awesome.
Oh, good lord, the fight scenes were amazing.
Yep, like the beginning fight scene and with the gang, like you said, with the sort of Jokers, maybe? I'm not quite sure what they were.
I can kind of see a little bit of an homage to either the Joker gang in Dark Knight Returns or the Sons of Batman from the Dark Knight Returns.
Yep, and then that nightclub scene was one of my favorites, where he just beats the crap out of everyone trying to save Selina.
Yeah. Especially I liked seeing the twins.
Yeah.
Here's to hoping that they end up becoming the bodyguards for Harvey Dent.
Yep. First not letting Batman in, and then letting Bruce Wayne in.
And then him outsmarting them, and then just, being the knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman took bones in this.
Yeah.
For real, he took bones.
And then beating the crap out of the Riddler's cultists.
Yeah, especially that last guy that was also the guy he talked to in the church during Mitchell's funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, good lord. Everybody was making the joke of him punching the gang member too much. No, that was the moment where he was punching a guy way too much in the face. Good lord. Just... thank God Gordon stopped him.
Yep, and then we get to, like, the suits. Like, we already talked about the suits and the costumes. They look really awesome.
Yeah.
From the Catwoman to the Riddler to the Batman.
Which I really liked how they went about Riddler's costume. Even though Dano didn't necessarily... He thought, it wasn't a good idea with the serene wrap.
Yeah.
Because it got very sweaty, but I like that whole idea that he's not trying to leave any trace.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the fact he wants to keep that air of mystery about who he is.
Yep, and then the cameos.
Yeah.
Especially one surprise cameo.
Yeah. Jay, like Herngo. He was the young gang member that hadn't been fully initiated.
Yep.
Yeah, he actually plays Tim Drake in Titans.
In another universe.
Yeah.
In the multiverse, yeah.
And then, of course, the big one, Barry Keoghan.
I think.
Keoghan.
Yeah.
He's the Joker.
Yep.
They never straight out say it, but he's playing the Joker.
Yep. And then there's one scene with the Riddler. He was really good, although there is a deleted scene in both the Blu-ray and on YouTube.
Yeah, where
the interrogation scene between Batman and the Joker.
Wasn't so much an interrogation scene as he was trying to talk to Joker as kind of like how Clarice talks to Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
And I do like his portrayal of Joker, though I do find it weird of the whole him being so messed up due to the vat of acid.
Although he does look like the recent comics from the Death in the Family, where he had to rip off his own.
Oh, when the doll maker cut off his face and then he puts the face back on like a mask.
Yeah, that looks similar to that.
True, but part of me also thinks that's part acid and also Batman beating the you-know-what out of him. Because there's no way he's looking like that just off of the acid. That man got messed up.
Yep.
We all know Batman takes bones. He beat the you-know-what out of Joker.
Yep. And then we had the first commissioner. I think he was played by Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband. Peter something.
Did I put him on?
Probably
I did not
not.
put him on the... Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Sorry. I didn't realize that either, so...
Yeah.
Until I was told by someone that, I think Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband was that commissioner who got killed off. But...
Yeah, I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah. You actually made me kind of have to look this up.
Peter S.
No, that was Gil Colson.
Oh, Gil Colson.
Yeah.
Well, I knew one of them was played by Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband. Yeah.
Yeah. Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah.
Gil Colson.
Yeah, that's Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband.
Though everyone else did do a great job in this film.
All the victims, including the now new mayor. Although she was, I thought of her a little bit of a pain, especially when talking to Bruce Wayne during a funeral. Hey, let's talk about all this politician stuff during a funeral.
Well, this is
I know, but there's a time and a place.
These things need to be discussed because,
yeah. Yeah.
When the most important people in the whole town is dead.
Yeah, well, she was.
The freaking mayor is dead, so now she's going to become mayor.
Yeah, but she also didn't listen to the captain that got her shot. Too.
Which, guys, she had a sniper rifle. Why'd you shoot her in the right side? The left side is where the heart is. But hey, we gotta have her for the next film. So yeah,
we'll see how long she makes it in that one, since it's Gotham.
Yeah. And it kind of sucks for Don Mitchell Jr.
Yeah,
that he also died. God, and his was gruesome.
Yeah.
Though whose was more gruesome, his death or
Gills
or Gills or Pete Savage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whose was more gruesome here? I mean, with Mitchell, he gets beat to death nearly to death with a carpet tucker.
Yeah.
And has his thumb cut off. You know, so they get his fingerprint, so then he can be even more smeared after death. Commissioner Savage having all those rats around him.
Although I didn't feel bad for him.
Well, he was a jerk, but I mean...
For his one scene. For his one scene alive.
Well, no, he had two. Remember the rain in which he had to tell the public about, you know, about Mayor Mitchell's death?
Yeah.
And though I do think District Attorney Gil Colson, him blowing up.
Yeah, I felt really sad for him. Really.
Yeah. But he shouldn't have been corrupt.
Yeah.
And that's actually an additional thing that I enjoy about the Riddler. He became very Jigsaw.
Yeah.
He wasn't just the Zodiac Killer. He acted a lot like Jigsaw from the Saw series with this.
Yep. I think we've discussed... I don't think there was that really any bad. We've discussed about everything.
Well, Alfred maybe not having much of a presence.
Yeah, that was...
Batman not calling himself Batman that much. He's Vengeance.
Yep. Said they should have changed the name to The Vengeance. I mean, really, we had the Dark Knight in the Dark Knight trilogy.
True. And, of course, Ben Affleck not getting his chance.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else was fantastic. The new Batmobile, which is like this really souped-up muscle car, which you don't want to mess with. Dear God.
The Bat Cave, which is like a old subway station.
Yeah, and I really like that. I really like that setup.
Yeah, the Wayne Mansion looked really cool also.
Yeah.
From what we saw from outside and inside.
And plus, I do like the fact that you do see the William Shakespeare bust.
Yeah.
In Wayne Manor.
Yeah. Nice homage to the 60s show.
Where the button was underneath Shakespeare's head.
Yeah.
And also, when talking about the climax, when Batman was taking that man's face, were they hinting at Bane?
Probably.
With that shot of adrenaline.
Yeah, that was probably Venom.
Huh. Interesting. I want to see more of that in the future.
Yeah, maybe someone steals it from Batman and figures... Didn't he beat Batman by
Well, I think it has been discussed that Wayne Enterprises may have been involved with that, and then somebody decided to...
go to another more angsty Bruce thing. When it comes to seeing the Wayne tech being used for other bad guys.
Underneath the bridge. Which, speaking of that, fantastic use of Something in the Way by Nirvana. Fantastic.
Yep.
It really felt appropriate with the atmosphere that they were doing with this version of Gotham and this version of Batman.
Yep. But you want to get into the scores?
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you go first?
I give this an 8 out of 10. It was good. The Dark Knight's still my favorite movie, though. In there, like you said, the lack of him just calling himself the Vengeance would have been a cooler title, in my opinion. And Alfred being in the hospital, not doing much, is also why he also got it named out also. And also, like you said, Ben Affleck not being in it. So, as much as I enjoy the movie, it just doesn't feel the same without it being a Ben Affleck Batman movie. So, and you?
For me, I give this an 8.5. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed this interpretation of Batman, Gotham City. They reinvented the Riddler, actually made him scary and intimidating. I mean, I'm a huge Nirvana fan, so any way that they utilize a song by Nirvana, I'm definitely on board with. And I like the fact that with them pushing the whole idea of vengeance, by the end of it, Batman learns he needs to go a new way. Instead of vengeance, he should fight for justice.
Yeah. But if any of you have your own opinions on the Batman movie, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Find us on YouTube, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
Also find us on Instagram, and also find us on Reddit.
Yep. Well, make sure to like, comment, especially for the algorithm. It helps with the algorithm.
Yeah.
Share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to hopefully 500 and then a live stream so we can talk to all of you guys.
Yeah, and then on the road to 1,000 where we can finally monetize our videos. We'll also start a Patreon where you can,
Yeah, Patreon doesn't take much money compared to YouTube, so...
Yeah, but, I mean, it would definitely help so we can, expand everything, maybe upgrade our setup. And you can also throw a few extra dollars for some viewer suggestions.
Yep.
And we'll also make some videos just for Patreon.
Yep. And then, but before we go, we have another marathon that we're getting to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Marvel Multiverse.
And that's not, technically Year of the Multiverse. Since I started.
Well, even though technically it started like a year ago.
Yeah. It didn't come out till this year, technically, so.
Yeah, but a lot of this started a year ago.
Yeah, but we get over a lot of stuff and we're having a special guest come over.
Yeah, someone you have already met a couple of times before.
Yep, but we'll be reviewing, starting with Doctor Strange, WandaVision, Loki, What If, and then the new Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
Yes. This is definitely going to be fun.
Yep, but want to roll us out?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for coming. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It definitely helps. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.